Good morning. Welcome to Satsang. Though I am not into definition, but it is just to speak about something. So, what is a spiritual life? It's a life where someone leaves space to something else than simply the senses, the emotions, or the thought, and he leaves space to that through a search for something else, or through faith, or through experience. So one doesn't need to, and here the interpretation of what it is will differ, and it doesn't matter. It means the same. But here we don't need necessarily to believe in God. One can really be, and it's not an obligation also not to believe in God. It's just that I can say everything will be of that kind, of that flavor, will be inside. One goes inside. And to leave aside for a while all what we already know and experience in this material world. So what? So we are left, one leaves a space for a moment, for more, to what is unknown and yet so intimate that it's there, it's here. I don't know why I say that today. It's just a beginning to be with you. Et voilà. So much can be said and nothing. Depends very much on the mood. If one is talkative or silent about it. It looks that when one doesn't try to capture what he experiences or feels as going beyond his personal I, if one so leave it alone, then surely never loses it. What we lose is the interpretations, the beliefs, the search that we can lose. But what's prior to that, which is doesn't look in time and space, it's not touchable by time and space, so you cannot lose it. Actually, in that way, one can say it never appears, and so it doesn't disappear. And when it appears, it is aspects of it. It is that, but as aspects of it, limited aspects. So all what we can describe of oneself as a human being are aspects of it. Yeah.
Morning, Ganga.
Good morning.
I think this is to do with cleaning the mirror. I saw the other night I saw a pattern. We are lots of patterns, and I saw a very old pattern very clearly, and I thought, oh, once you see a pattern, then it doesn't have such a power over you, because it was having an unconscious power over me. So as soon as I saw the pattern, I thought, okay, that was a real a revelation, really. And so that's kind of seeing what I'm not.
Yeah.
Not repeating that way, that habit.
Or even if it is repeated, you know what it is.
I know what it is, yeah.
Okay.
So I suppose it's really to do with cleaning the mirror, so I can see who I am by seeing who I'm not. So I wanted to share that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like that.
Yeah.
That's what I say. Even in Satsang, the direction is just to say what it is not. You can never know what it is. It's too intimate. You cannot know. So, and I wanted to add, it's like the expression, oh, but I don't have access to that. Of course you don't have access to that, but it's not taken well, because when we say that, oh, I don't have access to that, it's like, oh, it's impossible, I will never. No, you don't have access to that because I disappears here. In that way, you can, the same experience can be seen differently. Really, yes. I has no access to that. But what a liberation, instead of, oh, I don't have access to that, how to do and what to do and so on. It's very different. It's same experience. So the interpretations go on changing and are troublesome. Yeah. Great, my dear. Yeah.
Thank you.
To clean the mirror, I mean, endlessly, will not help, sure. And all that comes because, of course, because one thinks I will be enlightened or liberated. I, as the one I know, which is imperfect, or suddenly I find, oh, I have to clean it or whatever. So the work is always on this person, while it is just to give up for a moment the time of being freed from all what we know and believe in. Yeah.
Thank you.
Any question you have, or any something you want to say about it? Or you just enjoy to be quiet? But let this quietness not be based on something, because that something will go on changing and then you will be in trouble.
Good morning, Ganga.
Hi.
On a certain moment I saw that right and wrong is just a creation of the mind.
Yeah.
But I can't always see that. Could you comment on that?
You know, it's in the mind. So what is the mind? It is sometimes aware, sometimes not. The mind is always busy balancing, wavering between one thing and another. That will not change. But you see, if you see that, it is not to have, to believe that because you see that, your mind will always remember or be aware of that. It will not be your mind. If you see that, it's because you saw it from somewhere else. So don't apply what you see from somewhere else to this dual world. And this dual world works like this. Forgetfulness and remembrance. Once you know it, and suddenly you remember after having this feeling, oh, I forgot who am I or whatever, I was identified and so on. It's not a drama, it's the way it is. I mean, in this world. What do you expect from samsara after all? From this duality? You cannot expect it's always in a certain way. Otherwise it would not be dual. I would not say it's a kind of acceptance, it's just the way it is, the way things appear, disappear, and from where you are. This can be like a fact suddenly. When you expressed it, when you saw it's a fact, it's really like that. It belongs to the mind, yeah. Why should you think that your mind will change? Because you saw that, but you don't see this from the mind. So you are busy or to make your mind more perfect, or you just keep quiet then. So.
I feel a relief you talking about it. It's not about that, but still.
It's a relief for the mind, because then it doesn't need to be always a hero of perfection.
Thank you.
You can be if you like, but then you know that you will anyway fail. What to do? It is here you see that there is no high and low. Who is achieving what? What is the best achievement you can have? To be better than others? To be more transformed? Okay, in this world, with competition and all that could be eventually, but all that goes on changing and anyway doesn't make you at peace. So it really, you have to see what you want to serve in your life, serve or follow, or what is important for you. Do you want to really attain something in this world, and why not? But go for it then. Or you want to be at peace. And at peace, it's not of this world. I don't speak like a religious person, but it's an indication. It is not, you will not find it in objects, let it be sensual, conceptual, or emotional. Yeah, you can have flavor of it, and then it goes also, and all that, sure, that is sure. But not to be at peace. Means why to search more? And if I search, it's because I have a passion in this world, and I do it, and whatever, doesn't matter. But you know where things are placed, so you are no more confused. It's the confusion which makes suffer. Confusion, yeah. You see, now you are struck by this revelation, we can say. You will be struck by another revelation later. That's sure. And that's good, because then the mind loses its power also. Oh, it's like that. But I mean, the sign that it is really in the mind that this happens is that it can go on changing. I'm sure it's not the first time you had a revelation. I already heard you telling things, let's say, true things. Looks, we can see that momentarily. But never forget that what you search is what you are. And you lost that search. So revelations come, but know that it's just aspects of it again, which maybe look important to you when your mind was still powerful in something, in some beliefs. So it shakes a belief. But remember that the revelation comes because you were a moment without your mind. That is more essential. Yeah. It's known also as a trick, you see, in the world. Those who are more creative or more this and that, they know that, or unconsciously or consciously. So they give a rest to their mind, because after you get more inspired, can be more new things can be seen, and so on. Wonderful. But I mean, the no mind is also a state of mind. So you have, don't confuse all those things from where all this could appear. Because that's what I am, in fact. And I think that the satsang comes from there. You see, it doesn't come from the working mind. Yeah. But it doesn't mean that what you hear is that. It's a direction. So you can say like the truth in many ways of revelations, the truth is there, but that direction, you can never catch the truth. If the truth was somewhere outside, you could catch it. It's because it is so intimate, so what you are, that you cannot catch it. Even I cannot catch it. If we think that I is the most intimate, I cannot catch it. So what I am is more intimate than this I that I know. What happens? You? Huh? He look coming from the space. Welcome to human.
Morning,
Good
Ganga.
morning.
You said about mind or no mind. Because this is a question of a small residue of the still a little bit of a seeker in me. So if one is very empty, let's say no mind, it's still an aspect of what is. It doesn't necessarily.
Master said, mind, no mind, never mind.
Yeah.
Good you see that.
Yeah.
Whatever it means, but it means something for you, so good you see it.
It's just nice maybe in this world, but it's still an aspect of what is. Okay.
Yeah. And then what you do with mind if it was only no mind?
Yeah. Great.
And you know, no mind. Have you always no mind? No. No. That's why those who speak of absence and presence, yeah, of course, it indicates something, but don't believe. It is just indications. Yet it's funny because since why we seek? Because we are completely identified with what we think we are. So, and what we think we are is what we experience and see and all that. So it's body mind. forgot. You see, it's forgotten. So what? Must be a direction.
I had it. You said when you seek, you really are identified with everything, with the mind. And
Yeah,
no?
but it will not. Thank you. This much I remembered, but why I did, I don't know. Anyway. You see, it can be taken, for example, just now, what I experienced, it can be taken, oh, I cannot go there, and then I accuse my old mind, or I say, what a pity, and all that. Or you can just see, it's because the mind doesn't reach there. You see, sometimes you have a kind of revelation or something, it arises and you are quick enough to catch it. But sometimes it's so quick that it disappears as soon as it appeared, because I doesn't reach there. So it doesn't matter. It's really this paradox that the truth itself, the core, I say truth, okay, it's okay today. The core of that itself is sealed. But you see, it's also not true, because it reveals itself all the time with this infinite creation. So, yeah. But we need to, it's true, maybe I wanted to say something like that. It's true that you need to go to the core of it to stop searching. Because then you see things as they are, and there is no question to search. And to go to the core of it, it's true that it looks to me that the direction, or it happens like this, or the direction of giving up, not this, not that. Of course, it's somebody who does that job, but at least he is less eaten away by so many directions out. So he may come to a certain state of, you say, a dépouillement, dépouillement, a certain state of nakedness, still a state, but then it can happen, then it's more obvious to see, oh, I am still seeing that, and then, you know, so I am not that. There are so many ways to shake this mind. The proof is sometimes it's by a very hard challenge. then you start to question, oh, am I only this much? Then the search starts, or the realization appears, is obvious. So many ways.
If I may add, to really know that you are that, and one day you said like there is no way out, so that really stopped everything. Like you cannot go out of this dual world. So yeah. So there's no need to seek, because you cannot from one layer go into it. So
yeah, right.
That's really striking.
Yeah,
for me.
Right. It's an intriguing thing. I was also thinking, how is it possible for a duality to stop a split second to see from where it comes. I have no. It's very intriguing. Yet, probably it's because we are it. So it's possible. Otherwise, I don't see how it's possible. It's impossible. But we are it. So it would not be possible to reach it, because there is no bridge. It's like before it was looking impossible to go out of this atmosphere, and then suddenly the technology and all that goes out of this atmosphere. So it's like, yeah, there is a jump possible which looked impossible, but because of what? Because of the power, the fire of wanting to be free. We are rockets. Yeah.
Hi, Ganga.
Hi.
I have a little question. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Have you ever experienced that you were so scared of something that you were almost about to lose yourself? Like, what do you do in that moment?
For me, the fear is not my main thing. It's something else. But then it's the same, whatever feeling was there. So what was your question? How to manage, or?
Yes, what do you do in this right moment when it's right there?
Let yourself be struck, and then where are you left?
What do you mean by struck?
By the fear. Ah! Where are you left? You have a split moment of no mind. It's not to deal with the fear, it's just to say that that's possible. You know, when we have extreme experience, and generally they are not pleasant. Could be also differently, but generally they are terrible. It gives you the occasion to cut off the usual continuity of your mind. And that's very precious.
So, like, I can make a little example. When I'm surfing and there's like a big wave coming, and then I suddenly get really scared because I have experienced bad things before.
Yeah, understand.
And so I should just clear my mind and just be,
Yeah.
and just breathe, and just
Yeah.
breathe
What
through the
else?
anxiousness.
What else? The element is stronger than you, but that is stronger than the element. So, yeah. Great. So you saw, you found yourself the solution.
Sorry?
You found yourself the solution.
Yeah. I feel like I can meditate through it.
Yeah.
Just like,
Just means yeah, just keep quiet. Yeah.
yeah.
Very nice. So you will continue to surf.
Thank you.
You answer.
Hey, Ganga. I'm for some reason like really troubled about my questions still, even though it looks like the things that I want to know and solve is beyond what my mind can
Yeah. Reach.
comprehend.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, when I try to see what is like, why is it troubling me, or what I want to ask you is like, how is it possible that the mind can be bothered, like what is outside of its own existence? It's like, why is that even occurring? Like, what is that?
I'm still wondering, huh? I am still wondering. I think it is the restlessness of the mind. The mind wavers all the time, you see, between happiness and suffering, for example. And so, actually, is not so happy. Is frustrated because what? Because he has probably an intuition, or he invents an intuition, a belief that there must be something else which would not give him this feeling. And that's how one searches, huh? And in the end, what stops the search? It's not the answers. I told you it's very intriguing to me, this thing of split second. How can you possibly be no more a human with the consciousness to be human? So it's not the true an answer. It looks like, and that is said once the mind has not been listened. It's when you see clearly, but it's see clearly, or it happens this way that I and the so the questioner and the question are seen for a creation, and from where you see that, suddenly you don't go there as usual. You are just, you see, I am that. I am just what made you see the rest. It's not very well explained. It is not true an answer, okay? So, that's why this question, who was the question, who is the questioner, brings you not in the waiting for an answer, but brings you to the questioner, the subject, I. That's then who am I? That is the farthest the mind can go. And the answer to this question is not to have an answer at the level of the question. It's you are left where the question disappears and when it could arise. Don't you see that?
It's I see it when you say it like that, and I also had moments in Satsang that I can recall where I can express it like, okay, it's clear.
Yeah.
But for some reason it hasn't it didn't take away the
power of the questions. But clarity is important, but one can be unclear also. The proof is you are clear sometimes and unclear sometimes. So it is a state of your mind, the clarity.
Yeah.
So it's an answer.
Yeah.
And it will not be in an answer.
It feels like it's always like beyond where the mind can reach, and that I can say this is clear, but how can I be at peace with that? How can that be okay when
you follow your questions? No, tell me better.
It's like
you cannot
for example, sometimes in Satsang you say that we can still wonder, but the search is gone.
Yeah.
And I understand this in the way that is what I want. Like, but it seems that I'm also at the same time not really ready to let go of that strong urge to finally have that ultimate understanding of everything and not be looking for it anymore, or not.
So, but you heard what in Satsang about this? What did you hear?
That
give up the question.
It will
and if you give the question, you give up the questioner. There is no question without questioner.
Yeah.
So
I mean, for a long time, I can say, like, I saw it in a way that I felt like I could separate it a bit. I could say, okay, so me as a person living this life, I question the universe, the existence, where we're all coming from, and I saw in a way that was not gonna be solved at the same level as.
Yeah. Okay. You see that.
Yeah.
Then why there is a problem then?
Because I guess
The person.
I'm hanging on to this belief, which is that there is something that still haven't released its or been like there has to be some kind of shift in everything. Like when you explain, like you take a dip in the water and suddenly you know what is what, or something. Like I keep creating some kind of difference between where I am.
I think you create new concepts.
Yeah.
You see, don't expect. I think you should not expect anything, because an expectation is an ideal, is a concept.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so strange to see, I may live the same life, at the same time maybe not like that, it's a bad description, and yet it's as bad as to say, oh, my life has completely changed, you know?
Yeah.
No expectation, my dear. For example, I tell you, it's true, I was so busy with my mind trying to not to put too many concepts in that subject when I speak about. And I tell you, I am intrigued myself, I cannot explain something. And so I like to go there to try to see if there is something better to say about it. But I am not, I know it's my mind.
Yeah.
I am not also feeling less or frustrated if I don't find, because I know the nature of the things. But still, I like to see. If you are only liking to see, then you will search. So you have to know. Anyway, you will fail, you know. But surely there are sometimes better ways to express. Yeah. So it doesn't stir up a real search, I mean, to know this. What I said lately, that I still search or tries to see if there is a better way or not, but if I can't, it doesn't make me search ontologically.
Yeah.
So if you don't keep quiet, it means it's your mind, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. For example,
And don't expect that your mind is quiet. Just see is the way the mind is. Sometimes quiet, sometimes not. Sometimes clear, sometimes not. But you see that state of mind, now I try to explain, doesn't affect what you are, because what you are is no more an object of your mind. So I don't know, I cannot say much more. If you say, oh, but I don't live that, you don't live maybe what you understand of it, but you are it. So don't expect that your mind will completely know it. So the realization doesn't happen in the mind. And there is no need of realization because it has always been here. Oh, I don't know. Ooh, I don't know. You put me in difficulty. But it's a great difficulty, don't worry. Why don't you have this, maybe you don't trust it fully, to say, once you don't want to be busy with your mind and with those preoccupations, why don't you have this discipline to say, I don't go there? So there must be some hope or trust in the mind still.
Yeah, it's I have had a period of time where that was like my sentence.
Yeah.
Like, don't look at anything that
Yeah.
rises. And I think for some reason, like you said in the beginning, like there is this something is, it's like I can do it, but then I feel like this, oh, it's such an effort to really keep the discipline. And
But the discipline is just 1 second,
yeah,
here and there. If
Yeah.
it didn't, if it
Yeah.
was not successful
Yeah.
for once, you.
yeah,
Because it's really like that. Or it happens and you don't know how. And anyway, one doesn't know how. But let's say you don't know how it can happen. Or if you analyze and investigate, you can say it's surely not by listening to the mind. Yet I always encourage to speak out the mind if it is powerful, because then it means it's still powerful, and one has to see why, what is the concept which is behind that.
yeah,
In that way it's important. Because if, for example, well, when I met Papaji, at first, I'm sure, I don't remember, but I'm sure he said the right thing at first. But my mind was powerful, so I could not take it. So same, it can happen. Same. But now you are much more aware of what is a mind. You are aware of it now. So there is still a liking or an attachment, you can say. Maybe not a belief, but something expectation about that
yeah,
is too much. Yeah.
yeah. It's
Because you see, for example, this passion I have for the subject, I had to leave it for a split second. If I was keeping that passion, I would be all the time in my mind still. And it came back because it's probably my temperament like that. It was a risk also that it didn't come back, but it doesn't matter also. So Well, I cannot say more. Don't hesitate to speak, whenever you. It's Satsang is meant for that.
It's like now it looks just like it's a story in the mind, but I think it has been with me like since I was very young. Like I heard this story, this philosophical story. I don't even remember who wrote it, but it's about these people who are sitting in the cave and they're watching the shadows. And
Yeah.
ever since I heard that story,
Yeah.
it totally like it gave me such a strong understanding, which I have trusted until now.
Yeah.
That this was like what is reality and what I'm looking.
Yeah, but look, the interpretations will vary, will
Go and
be
change,
different, but they indicate the same.
Yeah.
So be with the indication, not with the interpretation. The interpretation distract you,
Yeah.
but it to put you at the right place, which was already here. But then don't be fascinated by the interpretation.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
In relationships, love relationships, you are a mirror for each other. Is that only a mind thing? Mind and body?
But anyway, love is undefined. If it's kept only in mirrors, then it travels. It's bound to travel. What you love, in fact, is what you are, you see. What is, and then, of course, as we are used to always capture an object, we capture some object, some you, to interpret it what is, you see. But then that's in the laws of changing and of pleasure and pain. It's like that. Yeah. But it has nothing to do with love. What is pleasure and pain is the object, the captured object that we symbolize as love, for example. Yeah. But of course the human cannot do much more than that unless he leaves space to be also. The projective power of I am born is amazing. It projects universes in the infinitive big and the infinitive small. It's so, it projects, it's amazing. And while it projects, it forms a shape and a name. Yeah. But it's so quick that we don't see it like this. What is the speed of life, Narayan? Of light, sorry. Of life. The speed of light. 300,000. So it's quicker than that. So it's okay. Thank you very much.